Hi, I'm Pharaoh, and today I'm going to be looking at this green squid. I did have it in front of me, who actually told me about it, but now I've got it, not got it in front of me. Typical, just at the last minute when I need it. Let me just quickly look. Oh, I know how I can get it quicker. So yeah, it was in one of my comments to one of my videos, and it was told to me by Grumpy Old Sloth the Scribe, which sounds like a typical viewer of one of my channels. So, because we're all grumpy old men here, and yeah, we're going to look at that. We're going to look at how you can find it. It's a little bit tricky to actually find, but we'll go into that. And I guess we'll run the missions as well. But let's get into the game as usual, because I have had a few problems with the game loading. Then let's bring that up. Yeah, because I've had the problem with games loading and then completely kicking out when I start my stream. I kind of being cautious now and starting it up in the background afterwards. So we are at the beginning of a heat wave in the UK, and I currently need to be careful that I don't get sunburn on my right arm, where I've just realised that the sun is shining on me. I've got windows open, so if you hear weird things, let me know and I'll shut some windows. I hope you don't. Had to change my ID from Grumpy Old Sloth. Come on, do what you're told. Squid to screen.
You found it too cool. I had to change my ID from grumpy.oldsloth.
So is it actually you, or is that just somebody else playing a game? Because you can never tell with YouTube. Someone could just change their ID on the drop of a hat. But I presume it's you. Yeah, so I'm in the system that was recommended to me by Grumpy Old Sloth, and it's Redvin. And this is the actual squid. As you can see, it's a lovely squid. You saw it in the thumbnail if you came here from the link. It's nice and green. It's got blue highlighting. They always have this faded colour, unless they have the same colour, of course. Typically, squids are tricky to get hold of, and this one was no exception. Usually, I would...
Foofems says.
Cool. It doesn't... Oh, it me. Sorry. This one's no exception. I think Fofems... Oh, Fofi No Man's Sky, I guess. I don't know. I think you were found it in the space station. Let me look at the galaxy map. So you can see from this that it's pretty close to the main mission area. Let's see if I can find one of the Hello Games discoveries so that we can give it a comparison. These will be older ones. If you ever need to get back to a Hello Games...
Alphas195 says. Whoa. Travelled quite a bit around the block, it seems.
I think a lot of them are just places where we've had to go because of the missions. I mean, every time you do a mission, it does. It tends to send you to different systems. Where is the Hello Games one? I can't see one at all. Can't all have been discovered more recently than the Hello Games one. And I can't have that many in my list that it's started to delete some, because it really does take a long while for that to happen, if ever, actually. Yeah, I think I'm going to give up on looking for a Hello Games one. Oh, right at the bottom. It was right at the bottom all along. Right, so if I put a set waypoint to that. So yeah, it's really close to the initial system, or one of the initial systems. I think that is the initial system, because that star, I think I put down a marker at some point quite early on. So it's not far away. That is in the Fenislies fringe, and so is this. So it's probably on the outer reaches of that as you drift towards the Ladskuhine Spur. The glyphs, I will put them on the screen if that's the easier way for you, if you happen to get all the glyphs, which is obviously tricky. So they're the glyphs. I would say it's a pretty good system for Sage, because one... Come on, that should finish, yes, thank you. One, the sky is lovely and green. So there's that. the nebula itself. Two, there are marked... let's see if I can find one. There should be some marked interceptors. Not seeing any of them at the moment. But yeah, there's a green interceptor in the system. It's not a tier 3 economy, so it's tricky to actually get that as an S class. You can get an A class. I think there's a couple of A classes marked. I wonder if some of these bases have got marks. Snowfrost Hut. Green Harmonic Camp. So you could do a search there. There's a base called Green Harmonic Camp. Second Expedition Hut. Distress Beacon. Well, I guess the easiest way would be to go to the Harmonic Hut, camp, rather. And where have I just lost that now? And I can show you that by just... I've just lost it. I think I've drifted too close to it now and I can't see it. I keep accidentally triggering my scan as well. There it is. Harmonic Camp. Let's go there. We'll do a quick recce for the interceptor. I don't want to land on their base. It's probably going to make me. I really wish Hello Games would sort this out. The ability to land when there's a nearby. See, they've blocked the landing point, so I can't land. Oh well, we'll land here. There's a... Whenever there's a nearby landing spot, it won't let you land. And then suddenly it will let you land, which is even more frustrating because there's no logic to that. Okay, so we're at the Harmonic Camp. Of course, we've not been to one before on this save, so it's going to go do the whole thing. So 11, 16, 6. That's what you have to do. You have to get that part that just flashed up in order to trigger all of the different purple missions. Reactivate multiple dissonance spikes. So you have to come to a camp at some point to unlock all the autophage story and the purple system stories. Far away is it? So there's the green interceptor. I'm going to land just in case it's the S-Class, obviously, but again, I can't easily land, but that one actually landed, so it's not too bad. It's an A-Class. I mean, an A-Class, that's probably as good as you're going to get without doing a long search. So if you want this one, the location is 546 north and minus 34.76. So that's presumably east. Anyway, so plus 5.46 minus 34.76 on the cold planet. I wanted to look at the layouts. I'm going to have to get it, aren't I? Obviously don't have an inverted mirror. I'm not far away. It's a lovely planet when it's not actually stormy. See, I've just at some point there walked past that combo which wasn't there a minute ago. That didn't load in until afterwards. I don't need it. Yeah, I need the Hiling brain, probe subconscious. Just checking something. all right. Not quite sure why, but it looks like I lost everybody. And we'll just assume that that's working. Oh, now I'm seeing viewers. It just seemed to act like I lost everybody all of a sudden.
Fufems says, I found a pirate system loaded with S-class solar, fighters, and haulers. I'm at work now. Will comment info ASAP.
I mean, pirate systems will find S-classes more readily, because what happens in pirate systems is I think I have a theory different to everybody else. Everybody else says that pirate systems just have a higher chance of getting S. I think certain ships are changed to S on the fly by the system. So it spawns them in at a lower class and then turns them into S class. Or other way around, or it can do all sorts of weird things. But it does still mean you will get lots more S class. But what you will also get is you'll get lower stats and you'll get less inventory on most of them, not all of them. So you can find some decent S class. You can also find some S class that are slightly not as good. And I think what HG were going for there was they were trying to make it so that pirate ships are kind of a bit more battered up and not quite as good. But yeah, pirate systems are great for getting an S class, and you will get S class stats. But a lot of things you find, like found S class ships and found S class multi-tools in normal systems, will often have exceptional stats, and in pirate systems they'll just have standard S class, if you see what I mean. Still good stats, but not quite as good. An ancient site stairs as I approach, stone scraping, blah. Mind, I'm not going to read all of this, I do that far too many times. Got the brain. I just want to see the layout of this ship. Whatever is actually behind the system, whether it replaces stuff or whether it just makes it easier but they're not quite as good, that holds true, that you often get slightly weaker, not quite as good S classes. You can get good ones as well. It's like a lot of things in this game. Oh, that's not bad. It's got a nice two there together. No idea where the fourth one will be with this particular thing, and I haven't got quite enough nanites to test it, but it's not bad. Claim it, but I won't keep it. Now, where did I park? There it is. So yeah, since I claimed this, let's go into how you actually find squids, because they're a pain. Usually, I would find any exotic using the freighter system. So in other words, what you do is you do a normal thing where you're hunting for a decent freighter.
Hello everyone.
Hi Ignition, good to see you. So what you do is you do a normal search where you would like spend 3 hours in the game, you'd do 5 warps, you'd probably have to run around on a planet for a couple of minutes or so, which is the missing link that a lot of people don't seem to realise, is that you do have to do a bit of exploring at some point in those 5 hours. And then you would warp and you would be confronted with a freighter fight, and if there were a certain number of ships defending it, attacking it rather, then you would usually see the exotic defending it, and you just keep an eye out for all of the green trailed ships, and you might spot the exotic. If you do spot an exotic defending the ship, then defeat it, defeat all of the pirates, and then follow the exotic wherever it goes. You can just land in the freighter, and often the exotic will land in the freighter with you, and you can claim it there. But sometimes that's a bit risky, and so you can hang around the freighter and see if it lands in there and going after it. But often it will start flying towards the space station, so you follow.
Says 6 was the
Come
magic
back.
number of attackers, if I remember.
I think you're probably right, but I'll come back to that in a second. So you would fly to the space station with it and claim it there. Although I've actually had quite a lot of luck just flying to the space station and not worrying about it, because it will eventually usually follow me.
Says 5.
Now, whatever the magic number of attackers is, this is something that has changed over the years, and is all, I reckon, is subject to change.
5 or 6. The minute you see 8, reload.
It is true that if it's more than 5 or 6, it tends to be possibly not there. Although I would say keep an eye out anyway, because as I say, these things can be subject to change. And I don't want to say a definitive method unless we're currently testing it right now, because No Man's Sky is like that. It will call you a fool for making a statement. Anyway, trouble is we can't do that in this expedition, because they took away defend the freighter missions, and instead we get spawns. So let's see if we get one. It's almost on every warp, but especially the more conflict heavy ones. We didn't on that one. Let's walk one more time. Don't want to go too far away from where we are, so maybe we'll walk back to where we were. So where were we? I put a little base down. There we go. There we are. So these have replaced all pirates, and they've also replaced the pirate mission defending freighters in the expedition. So you just will not see any defend the freighter missions at all.
Ignition Rex says, do people like the Squid design, or is it too over the top?
The Squid design.
Alphas195 says, these swarms are a pain. They spawn right near the space station, so you have to be careful about not hitting the space station.
Well, it teaches gun security, doesn't it? Don't shoot when something's behind your target. Okay, so now finding a squid, if you can't do that, which is usually the best method, the best way is generally to go to a trade post. Sorry, I've gone to the wrong place. And if you haven't got a economy scanner, then getting one helps you scan for trade posts. You can get them with charts. The commercial charts will pick one up. Because trade posts always have ships spawning in constantly in waves, then you're more likely to find them here than you are in the space station. Unless... Oh, it's not landed where I wanted. Unless it happens to be a first wave exotic, which means that it will always land at the space station every time. But it isn't in this system. And I also try and put my ship off of the landing pads so that it gives the options of plenty of landings, because I don't want to take up a landing spot the squid will then just not be able to land in and just fly away. It looks like I've chosen a landing, a trading post right next to another trading post. There's another one over there. You can see where all the ships are going around, and they've favoured that one, not the one I'm at. So that can be a bit of a pain if that happens. It's either going to be a trade post over here, or it's going to be a colossal archive.
Ignition Rex says, the sound the exotic makes is slightly similar to a solar landing ship.
Yeah, it has an animation. All exotics have an animation, and they also have an associated sound. Yeah, I would say this is bad luck, Elphys. It's not what I wanted at all. I wanted to demonstrate something, and I had to come here instead. So as you can see, loads of ships land at the trade post, and reloading at the trade post will reinitiate another ship spawn. So you can speed things up by putting down a save point, which is not going to let me because I don't have enough dihydrogen jelly, so I'm going to make that. I don't have enough dihydrogen because I don't have my other ship with me. Hang on. All my dihydrogen's in my other ship. But I have some dihydrogen jelly here, so that's fine. I like to use normal save points, because then you're not kind of broadcasting, oh, come here to everybody, and they come and look and it's just a trade post, and that's not what they really wanted to find on this system. So as you can see, there's nothing going on at the moment. There's probably some ships coming in. Yes, there are. So the next wave is coming in now. They will spawn, they will fly around, they will land. But none of those are the one we want. I can't see any more ships coming in, so I would usually just reload at this point. A few more ships will spawn in. I've got one that I can see. And if you're lucky, the exotic will spawn in. I prefer trade posts with better vistas. Look, they're landing at the other one. This is why you don't want two trade posts next to each other.
/reloading. I fall through the trading posts a few times.
Yeah, you can do. See, look, they're all landing over there now, which is where I left my other ship. So we can't win if we've got two trading posts next to each other. You want to find a better one than that. And then, of course, the other easier option is just to go to the space station. And I believe, correct me if I'm wrong, but that was where the original was found. But they did have to wait a while. So reloading there. You can, and this is a method that I sometimes try and use, is I wait until I see some freighters spawning in, and I see if there's any exotics flying around them. But that's not as reliable. But if I'm having no luck, then that's one. And then the other way, the last way that I would recommend, because this really does take forever, is grab a massive stack of. I'll just do it. Hang on. I think I've already got some. I think I've already got a massive stack. Oh no, I've just got loads and loads of navigation data. I've got 13 emergency cartographic datas. And obviously you can get those from the guy here. Exchange specific charts and just buy a load of those. Emergency cartographic data, planetary charts. And trust me when I say that that will make you pull your hair out. And I was talking to Gravnaut about finding this ship, and it would be nice if we could find the crash site, because a crashed one would be better, because I could say to everybody, hey look, just come here and you can get it. You don't have to wait for it or anything. He went looking for it. I think he was on 250 crash sites when I last asked. I know Ignition had a go at it. I think he did at least 30 odd. I did at least 30, 40 odd. And we still haven't found the crashed exotic. Theoretically, there will be one at least crashed exotic in the system, but we haven't found it. And that's how frustrating it can be finding it. So I wouldn't recommend that method unless you really know what you're doing. You can use the Minotaur as well. So you get the Minotaur. Yeah, 250. It's ridiculous. You can use the Minotaur scanner. That will find crashes. You just ignore anything that isn't a crashed ship. But yeah, I don't recommend that method.
Ignition Rex says 45. No crashed exotic. I did find a red hauler, C class. Fly it to the anomaly and flex it.
I'm not in multiplayer. I suppose I could. We could do it for a couple of minutes while we're chatting about other things. Because now we've pretty much exhausted the topic of how to get this exotic. We can do some missions. So we need to go to the expedition anyway. So network, multiplayer enabled. Probably a reason Gravnaut's not here right now. He probably doesn't want to speak to us anymore. He's probably decided that No Man's Sky isn't for him. I think he left his I'm not sure, is Alphas on PC? Not Alphas. Is Gravnaut on PC, or is he on PlayStation? I can't remember what he's on. Right, so we're going to do some missions. Don't need to come to the anomaly, but it makes it easier.
195 says distress charts.
Yes, yes.
Alpha
They are distressing.
says he's on PC Steam.
PC.
Ignition Rex says graphs on PC. He left his PC on whole night.
He left his PC on 2 nights in a row, because if you reset, you run the risk of it all starting again and you go to the same places. So yeah, it hasn't worked out well. If he finds one, we'll put it on the screen, but he might give up now. I told him he was able to give up. But whether he will give up or not is another matter. He does like finding these things. He's very determined. So fingers crossed if he does keep looking. What was I doing? I was going to the log. I was doing countermeasures. I was tracking swarm. Swarm activity. That's the space combat one. That's the scramble one. And that's the polo one. So we'll do the polo one. That's easy. It takes... Oh, have I not actually got the thing he wants?
Ignition Rex says his math says 1/700 chance of a crashed exotic. So I assume he'll stop at 700.
Yeah, we'll see. He's probably doing it right now, isn't he? Why haven't I got the phosphorus that's required? I've got 127. I could kind of just make some, couldn't I? How much does he want? Keep doing that. Keep going to my thing. Right, 130. See, I've got such a close amount to 100. I only need to make a few. Which one is the one in the chain before phosphorus? Does anybody know? Let me look it up. Dioxide. So we've got plenty of dioxide because we always need to have a bit of dioxide. So we need. Actually, let's make plenty. Let's make a couple of hundred. Let's put that down the bottom so we can find it quicker. And ferrite, isn't it? Pure ferrite will do. So, oh, it's 2 to 1, so we only need 100 of this. That's all we needed. We'll leave the rest running. You're running me dry of phosphorus. You're giving me so much of it. He gave me a walker brain, so I can't complain. Oh, I didn't set up the next one. Never mind. We're out of the system now. See, it's warped me anyway. I think this is the root of... You know, sometimes... I don't know if anybody's seen this, but sometimes you go to... you go to do these missions. So you go to countermeasures and you track swarm. And one of them is blocked off as if you can't do it anymore. I think the reason it does that is because of this mismatch with the warping. So, for instance, it wanted to warp me to where I could get some phosphorus. And if that stays in the system, it thinks, oh, I need to warp you, then it won't complete the mission properly. I think that might be the reason. But I haven't had it happen since, so I haven't been able to test my reasoning on that one. But I have had it a while. So this is in another system. Of course, I can't jump all the way there because I'm in a new ship. So we'll probably have to kill some swarm or fly away from them. Oh, I didn't. Nice. See, if I'd used the anomaly, I wouldn't have had to have walked at all. Now, I have given this a pretty decent weapon. Done it again. There we go. So I've given this. I've maxed out the photon cannon because I find it by far the easiest weapon to use against the swarm. Because the auto aim is just OP on photon cannon. I'm going to turn off multiplayer because it's just distracting me on that left hand side with all of the messages. Which type of crash is it? If I shoot that, I bet I get more swarm, so I'm not going to do that. And lastly, feedback. Another system. So I've been thinking about this expedition and how it works and how the timing works. And there's an awful lot of people out there that say, oh, it's all fake, it's all on a timer, you don't have to do anything, which winds me up because it isn't. And if you just so much as say to somebody on Reddit, well, you know, it is worth doing.
I remember one expedition, I spammed the multiplayer chat, kept firing on the space station and killing the Sentinel interceptors.
Yeah, it would definitely fill it up. So yeah, it isn't fake. I mean, I've made a video on why it isn't fake. I've made a video on what may or may not be manipulatable, if that's a word. What could be being manipulated by Hello Games and what usually isn't. Oh, look, I've got a drop pod. These do not work for me. So I've made a video on why it isn't fake.
Amwood says, I found my squid by accident in an abandoned station. Went back next day and couldn't make it show up again.
But you did claim it first time, yeah? I mean, it would be a tragedy if you didn't manage to get it the next time. Because they are not always easy to get. I mean, as I say, there is a method. I made a whole video where I was looking for exotics, so have a look through my streams if you want a repeat on, because I went into it earlier in the stream, but if you want to repeat on the best way to search for exotics. Right, so I can't do this, look. Because I've got full inventory on this character, I cannot make this. I've got full inventory here, and I've got full inventory here, and I presume the reason I can't interact with this terminal to do the swarm mission is because of that, because it's just not letting me do anything. So what I always do is I hit that just to make sure it doesn't send me back here. Now it knows I've tried to be here. That's my thinking anyway. That part isn't necessarily fully necessary. And then what we can do is we can go in here and abandon it, and then we can track it again, try again, and it will send me to another system. As it says, mission target is another system, and hopefully we won't get it.
Amwood says, yes, I got it, it's white.
Yeah, the white ones are the best ones. The white ones are the most sought after ones. So if you found that by accident, well done. That's excellent. Because some people look for white ones for months. I mean, obviously people can use like the coordinate exchange and find ones that people have already found, but finding your own is the much more satisfying thing. If you found a white one, I've never seen a white one in the wild, and I've played far too long now. many thousands of hours. I won't look it up now. There's no fuel. Excellent. I found a blue one in the wild, and my colours are blue in my normal games. So I found the ideal one for me, but I've never seen a white one. There are whites and there are slightly grey ones, and they're all really nice ones. But what was I doing? I was.
Ignition Rex says, rumor has it that Pharaoh's got 25,000.
You want me to look it up now, don't you? You want me to look it up just to. Alright, let's have a quick look.
Ignition Rex says, my first exotic squid was white.
I have 7,541 hours in this game. So not 25,000. Your first exotic squid was white as well. Great. Everybody found one except for me. Obviously, it's really common. They just don't show up for me. I mean, now I know everybody's finding them. I don't really want one anyway. I mean, they're just so common.
Ignition Rex says, this was the first green squid I've ever seen.
Yeah, we were discussing that.
Even though they come in white.
We were discussing that in stream, weren't we? I was saying, oh, a green squid would be the best thing to find. That was before we were pointed in the direction of one.
Green.
And you weren't even sure that there were green squids. And I knew there were, because there's all sorts of colours of squids. It's just you can't find normal exotics in green.
Extreme Sentinel Planet.
Let's use some microprocessors this time. I've got quite a few. Okay, so that's the mission's done.
Extreme Sentinel Planet.
Ignition Rex says, music to my ears. Extreme Sentinel Planet.
Well, I left it straight away. So yeah, I was explaining my what I've been thinking about. I've been thinking that okay, so we know this isn't fake, even though a lot of people seem to think it is. We know that there's a certain length of time that we need before the mission ends. It's 30 days exactly now, give or take a few minutes. So at 2 o'clock in the afternoon in 30 days' time.
Come on, I thought we were gonna see that jacked up bowcaster in action, maybe later.
Probably later. We know that at 2 o'clock on Tuesday, this will all end. That's 30 days' time. So this is going to run right up until the end. So I kind of thinking this could go a number of different ways. And so what's the worst that could happen is my question. What is the absolute worst thing that we could see happening in the worst way this could pan out? Because there's a lot of people that don't want to do it because they say we'll just get given it. So, I mean, one potential best or worst element is that Hello Games could just give. I wish I wouldn't be making that noise in the background. Let's just mute that out a second. Just confirm that you can still hear me, but you can't hear that background noise. Anybody just give me a thumbs up. So yeah, they could just give it to us when we get, but they can't just give it to us. What's that one? Is that the Oh, it's a trading post. Cool. I'll put it on the screen.
Fufems says, Kashafa,
Right behind my thing, so you can't see it. Excellent.
381076. My base is at a trading post due south of Portal. I nabbed 4 different solars, one of 2 haulers, blue /silver exotic, and passed on 3 fighters. All S-class.
Was that the trading post at the pirate system? So, yeah, where was I? So they could just give it to us, but the way this is timed, this is being timed to work as the end of the expedition. That literally would be, at that time, would be the end of the expedition. So if they just gave it to us, when would they give it to us? They would have to give it to us at a time when people were actually around to claim the reward. Because as soon as the expedition ends, we can't claim the reward anymore. So one thing that could happen is that we get really close to the wire. So how close to the wire are we is my next question. So I was looking at the stats. Let me just pull up some stats a second. I have to pull up a spreadsheet. This is all spreadsheets recently. Take a little while to load because it's on my NAS. My NAS isn't super fast. So why has that come up like that? Oh, of course it's come up like that because I had it like that before. So where's my Excel? Okay, so change that. Properties. Okay. And then we'll change that to, there we go. I'll obscure my face for a little while we just look at this spreadsheet. So what I've done here is I've put in the totals of what missions we had. And this, let me just change that slightly. This was from Friday to Monday, first thing in the morning to first thing in the morning. And what we did over the weekend was we went from 49.62% to 51.67%. So that's an average of 1.94% per day. So just under 2% a day, which is good. I mean, that's not a bad progress at all. What we actually need from this point onwards is 1.78% per day. Now, the problem with this is if we look at, say, Friday's stats, we were doing, no, that's not the one, this one. Why isn't that changing? That's odd. I'll tell you anyway. On Friday, we were running at 1.53 per day. So on a weekday, Thursday to Friday this was, on a weekday, we're not hitting the required rate at all. We're significantly under what we need to achieve. And then at the weekend, we're catching up and doing a bit more. And it's kind of making it okay. And we're probably going to be able to do it. And as usual, Hello Games probably have worked out roughly how long it's going to take and roughly how many players are going to engage. And they've got the stats from previous expeditions. They know roughly how eager and how not eager we are. They know that a certain number of people don't do it at all. They know a certain number of people do it religiously, and they know a certain amount of people pop in and pop out and do a few. So they know that roughly how long it will be. But I'm a little bit worried that we're very close to the wire at the moment, even after the weekend when it's pushed it up a bit. We're still very close to the actual requirement of what's necessary. So my fear is the worst that could happen is this. We get there on Monday morning and it all finishes on Tuesday, and people that don't play that often, say weekend players, will log in at the end of the expedition. They'll log in over the weekend and they'll oh, we're not there yet. They'll log in the next weekend and they won't be able to claim the rewards. And that would be ridiculous, but we would kind of deserve that because we've convinced ourselves literally everybody on Reddit is convinced that it's all fake. We don't have to do anything. We can just wait for it to finish. And if we just wait for it to finish and don't do much more than we currently are at the moment, this worst case scenario could actually happen. We could end up with thousands of players not able to claim the rewards because we didn't quite go fast enough and we didn't claim it before the weekend. Okay, so that's one possibility. Now, what's possibly more likely to happen is if we got to 80% and it didn't look like we were going to be able to get there quick enough, Hello Games could change the ratios. So they could say, let's make it a little bit more easier for that percentage to go up based on how much effort we do. So at the moment, I don't know, let's say it's every time we do one mission, then it goes up by 0.0001. They could change it to 0.0002, and that would double the rate. And so they could do that. They could just double the amount of reward we get for effort. And that could work. And they have done that kind of thing seemingly before. But to be honest, they've usually not had to, because usually we do it fast enough. In fact, I worry that the community has just got in their head this idea that we don't have to do anything. And they've kind of flooded the online zone, convinced everybody we don't have to do anything. If somebody pops into Reddit at the moment and says, oh, I've just hit the this stage of the expedition. Let's just pull up the page of the expedition. So if they say, I've just got to phase 3 and I don't understand what to do next, what do I have to do? They'll get 9 people telling them, you don't have to do anything, just log in towards the end of the expedition and claim your rewards. There's no need to do anything, it's all fake anyway, don't worry about it. And I think that's discouraging people from playing the game. Now, I'm not saying that they should enjoy logging in religiously 3 times a day and do all the missions that are relatively boring. I'm not saying that these are exciting missions. And I'm not even saying that everybody should log in every day. I'm saying that if people can, they should log in occasionally. Whenever they're able to, they should do a few missions, maybe slightly more than they might otherwise. So, for instance, if they're a weekend player, maybe log in Friday evening, Saturday, Sunday, do maybe a couple of different ones, maybe log in just as it changes. So UK time at 5 o'clock in the afternoon, log in just before 5, say 4:30, do a few missions, mess around with your character. When it gets to 5, do a few missions, log out. Same on whatever day that is available for that person. Because it isn't all fake. That's my main point. So what does everybody think? Do you think I'm being a bit paranoid? I mean, Ignition thinks we should do our missions, and I agree. But do you think I'm being a bit paranoid here? I mean, I can just see it happening. I can just see it happening where we manage to complete the missions on a Monday morning, and then everybody moans about it and blames Hello Games. And even though it wasn't Hello Games' fault, it was our fault. I think they might. I mean, they've slowed things down before. I don't think they've ever had to speed things up before. As I said in my "Is This All Fake" video, they did artificially give us the reward on Expedition 2, which was Beachhead, because it was obviously a spoiler that we would get the Normandy, and they didn't want that spoil. But there was a press release because they were doing, I don't even know the name of the company that actually does Mass Effect, but they were doing a tie-in with Mass Effect, and there was a press release to be released, and it came out on the Monday morning, and we'd got to Monday morning after the weekend, and we hadn't managed to get to that point of the reward mission yet, so they released it, and we were able to claim it prematurely. We hadn't reached the top of the amount we needed. This 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 is what. Yes, Ignition. This is exactly what I was trying to get at, but you're right. I missed out that detail. Well, I hope so. I hope that's what they do. But there's always the possibility that they think, well, actually, we've got a story prepared for if we fail. Um, if we fail, we get more swarm for the next few months until the Redux. They could do that. I mean, that'd be quite funny, and I quite like that. It's like, just watch us fail for once. Um, but yeah, let's get back to that point that Ignition made, because I did forget to say that. I know. Who said it? Yeah, let's just click on that a second. I just I just did exactly what I just said I shouldn't do. Shoot the space station. Um yeah, they've set us up to fail. That would be really funny. So yeah, let's look at the expedition. Um, Once we've completed the countermeasures, we have ward against the hive of glass, which seems to be we all need to get something in order to fight against the hive. And then we have destroy the hive of glass, which presumably is fighting that thing in space. And then we have demand answers. Yes. So we have stuff to do after everything's done. So if we were running up against the wire, then 90% of people wouldn't be able to finish the mission. I hate to break it to you, Ignition, but you're not the first person to say this. There's a number of people have had that theory. I don't, for 1 minute, think that Light No Fire will be anything to do with this, but they could put a bit of a tie in there somewhere if they wanted to. It would be one way of promoting it. Am I in the right system for the Hive of Glass? You don't get your check, sorry. No, I don't think there is one in this system. Yeah, unfortunately, there isn't one in this system to actually look at. I think there might be always one in that starting system. Let's see if we can go back to that starting system and have a look. there isn't. I think we would have to have the we'd have to be able to do countermeasures to do it, unfortunately, to look at it. But yeah, it's clearly this expedition is designed that we finish the expedition, we finish all of the progress rather, and then we have to do 3 other steps. And if that happened on a Monday morning, how many people are going to log in during Monday and Tuesday? That would be interesting. I hadn't thought of that. We could actually fight for the hive. It doesn't look like that's what's going to happen, but obviously we don't have an awful lot of information. But it would be cool if that happened. If we failed, we could just join the opposite faction. I mean, clearly, we finish. Polo finishes building what he's building. Then we do something with our ships, presumably, to make them a little bit more protected when we go up against the hive. Then we destroy it. Then we go and demand answers from presumably Atlas, because it says it's got an Atlas symbol there. So that's you mean this one here? I mean, it will only be a big battle, yeah, but it'd be interesting to see how it works. But yeah, if this happened, even if it happened late on a Sunday, then a lot of people aren't going to be able to complete it before Tuesday 2 o'clock in the afternoon UK time. So a lot of people would miss it. So they would have to have it finish before that weekend, I think. Otherwise, they're running the risk of being very, very unpopular. I thought at one point that they were very clearly on track to finish the whole thing with a week to go, maybe even 2 weeks to go. But at the moment, I'm a little bit worried because it looks like people have really dropped off, that the pace is just not quite as fast as it could be. Now, obviously, as we get closer to the time, people could start speeding up again. They could start kind of just thinking, oh, we need to finish this. But yeah, I'm a little bit worried that this could go wrong unless Hello Games step in. And I don't really like Hello Games stepping in. I don't want them to mess with it. I think you're saying not a lot of chance that happening. It is. I mean, the weekend caught us up. If you do it as like a 2% a day thing, then we're fine. But if we don't do 1.78 or whatever it was required, then we're in trouble. And my worry is that the weekend won't always catch us up quite as much, especially as more and more people get convinced they don't have to do anything and they can just wait, which isn't how it works. Hello Games don't set it up like that. They can mess with things, they can manipulate things, they can make it easier for us, but they will not just give it to us. We have to actually do it. Otherwise, what's the point of the game? So yeah, a bit of a bugbear for me. I'm a little bit frustrated that every time I so much as hint to people online that maybe just log in a few times and try and do a few extra missions, it will help the score. I just get a barrage of negativity saying, oh, it's all rubbish, it's all fake, you don't have to do anything, you're talking rubbish, you don't know what you're talking about, we've seen the proof, which there is no proof, we know exactly how this works, and it's just getting to me a bit. It's just like, this is just, we're We're either going to force Hello Games to manipulate it, and then they'll just say, "See, told you so." Hello Games manipulate it, which is kind of self-defeating in and of itself, or we're going to see it come to a very close system failure where we end up not giving it enough time to complete it properly. They're my worries anyway. What do you think? Um, Put stuff in comments, and if you're watching this later, um, please don't put "oh, it's all fake," blah blah blah, because unless you're taking the Mickey, I don't mind if you're taking the Mickey, but if you really believe that, then you're on the wrong stream. This is not your home, because you're only ever going to hear the opposite from me. I do like Finally Big and an Exotic again. I much prefer the cockpit. Right, so what else can we do on this? Why has that done that? Oh, it's crashed the game. See, I told you it's occasionally crashing the game. All right, let's reload it. Yeah, and I don't think you need to even do that many. I think you've done your part with 74. I think if you've done like 50 or 60, then you've done far more than most people will do. Most people will probably do a few here and there. So what have I done? I don't think I've even done that much either myself, and I'm the one that's saying that we need to do more. Oh, because I've changed the expedition thing, that's why. Phase 3, countermeasures, track sworn activity. Well, I have done more if you add them together. I've done 53 of these two, and I've done 51 of the purge, which I managed to miss one of those, and the other one it messed up and wouldn't let me do it, and I couldn't work out how to sort it out. But I think I've got a trick of sorting that out now. So yeah, I've done quite a few. I've done enough, really. I think anybody that's done around 50 odd has probably done enough. And I'm not telling people to do it every day. I'm not saying no life, no man's sky. Not even I know life, no man's sky, and it might appear that way to many people, but it's just the only real game I play most of the time. Oh, I was landing there for a reason, wasn't I? I was going to go back to one of my bases. So yeah, one of the things that I want to do with this ship, now I've got this ship, is I want to give myself a bit more space. So I need to start looking for missions again, or seeing what the guilds are giving me, like that. Well, we don't even know. I mean, there's a big controversial thing about whether or not 3 times a day is even being counted. And that's something that Hello Games could change. But there's this big controversy about whether or not we can only do 3 missions a day, or whether we can do 9 missions a day. And it's not clear, and we don't know. People say they know, but they don't know for certain. Let's go to there. Because there's this value that people have found in the save files that says, in the game files rather, that says the maximum 3 per day. But the problem with that and reading that as just meaning we can only do 3 per day is that we don't know what the per day means in the actual code. We data miners are really good at seeing all of the data, like the different variables that we use, but we're not as data miners, which I do kind of consider myself one a bit because I do look through these things quite often. We're not able to look at the code. We can't just decompile the code easily. And so we don't know what 3 a day means. It could mean 3 every 8 hours for all we know, depending on how the code's written. And then we have the whole thing, do sabotage missions work? Oh, that was a tier 3, wasn't it? I don't think we'll get different rewards. I think we'll just get what we get. I mean, we know what the reward is. We know that we get the suit. I do think it would be quite funny if Hello Games just didn't give it to us. I don't think they're like. I don't think they would be like that. I don't think they'd be like a petulant parent trying to teach their child a weird lesson. What I would like to see, that I think could kind of spice things up a bit, is when we get to 60%, give us something else going on in the game. Give us, like for instance, now we've got, whenever we warp, we often see swarms. So that kind of created an escalation. Do something else. Give us something else to do. And that way people would be more likely to play it, I think. I don't really want that, but I do want the nanites, so I'm going to take those and sell them. I wouldn't usually do this in a save, but I think it's a bit of an exploit. Have you got any slots for me? No, you haven't. Oh, look. Talk of finding exotics. That was very nice looking grey exotic there. I wonder if we're in an example of a first spawn exotic, a first wave exotic. Let's find out. I should put the sound back on, shouldn't I?
Ignition Rex says, the white or grey is the best colour for exotics.
Yeah, I do like them. Let's see if we get another one. Used to be a whole thing with ship hunting where on these shorter, there aren't any shorter ones now, but on the much shorter tunnels, you used to look away from the tunnel wait a certain length of time and then look to try and cause the spawns to come in at a certain time. That looks almost purple. Is that just the space station? Yeah, it's the space station. It's a nice hauler. I do like the ball haulers, but it's missing the thing that really would make it great, which is the force fields on the ball. It's got the nose I like as well, the cockpit. Doesn't look like we're getting that exotic. Doesn't look like a first wave. So see if it's in space, just in case. Just despawn something. No, that wasn't one. Plenty of ships out here, no exotic. Any ships here? Got some spawning near the freighter. You usually get a few spawning near the freighter, but we haven't got the right one. Why am I not getting that solar as a target? Not getting the job done. Fight every time, aren't we? I haven't quite worked out if it's related to combat, but I think it might be. I should have looked.
Ignition Rex says, photon cannon is no one for these fights. Best weapon.
I agree. It's definitely the better weapon. I think some people have been using the what's the very shotgun like one? I can't remember. I never use it. I so little use it, I haven't even got one unlocked. Positron injector, is that the one?
Positron ejection, that's my fave.
A lot of people use the, if that is the one. So as I say, I so little use it, you could say it and I wouldn't even know if it was definitely the one because I just don't use it. We've got a multi-tool expansion. They're quite hard to get. I'm a cannon and phase beam person. For a long while, I just used the phase beam. This is way before it became useful for recharging. Just found it easier.
Ignition Rex says, "Oh, phase beam is an absolute must in permadeath."
Permadeath. Didn't like the word permadeath, does it? Cleo doesn't like the name permadeath. I think the phase beam is important. I mean, I've got a phase beam on this. Obviously, it's no good for swarms. Well, it can work for swarms. It's...
Ignition Rex says, "Hello is French."
because it's quite precise. So if you've got good aim, you can just pick them off individually. You need to be quite close to do that. I use a sweep method for the phase beam a little bit, so I just kind of sweep across the target.
Alphas195 says, "The Corvette expeditions made me reconsider the cyclotron. Fully upgraded, it shreds a shield in the blink of an eye."
Yeah, cyclotrons are pretty effective. Can use the phase beam. It's a little bit slower. It doesn't mop them up as well, getting the stragglers. I find them quite good for pirates, though. Very pink station. It is mercenary that usually gives you the. Am I getting it wrong? Is it? Am I? Isn't it mercenary that you often get the slots for your ship? Storage augmentations. Let me just check my notes. I've got a note on here somewhere in Steam. Storage augmentation explorers. Don't. Oh, you do get them from merchants. I don't have a list for mercenaries. Maybe I'm wrong.
"I don't think so."
No, I think I might be wrong.
Or anything.
Let's go to the other one of the other ones. You can get them from the other ones. Go to a different region. Oh, need some hyperdrive fuel. I might go back into my other ship for a little while just because it's proving a bit heavy on fuel until I do increase the slots.
Technology recharge.
Let's do that now while I remember. Oh, well, I can scrap that other sentinel, can't I? might be nice to find out what the other slot is for that.
Alphas195 says, don't machineries give out mount expansions?
They do give out multiple expansions. In fact, I've already got one from them just a little while ago.
195
That's a nice
says,
ship.
Pharaoh just claimed one.
Yeah, I just got one a second ago. What do you reckon? Do we want to find out what the slot is on this one? Or shall we just scrap it?
Ooh, I missed that.
Let's scrap it. It's only an A class. I'm not that bothered. Nice. Trouble is, if the slot had turned out to be here, it could be great. So maybe I'll keep it for a little while.
Alphas195 says, that's a pretty fighter.
It is a nice fighter, isn't it? You go faster, red stripes on it. We've got a nice I wonder what colour the sails are. This is No Man's Sky all over, isn't it? You do one thing and then you get distracted. Nah, blue doesn't really work with red for me. If it'd been yellow, maybe. Right, so is this the... Yeah, I'm going to leave this ship here. I'm not going to scrap it yet. I'll find out what the slot is, because it could potentially be really good, and then we can report back on it later. What are you doing? Right. So, either of the other two guilds. What was this one again? B-tub. So not B-tub, basically. Doesn't really matter where we go. So let's find out what this one. Yeah, again. Certainly getting a lot of Ica this way. That's another thing I wonder, is that when we actually have to do the remainder missions and fight the swarm, will we need this Ica for anything? Do we need to keep some back? Will we need like 300 Ica to finish off something? To install some technology that we desperately need, or that, like the way the leak talked about a nullifier. We don't know if the leak's real, but will we need to build something like that? So as we predicted, my mum was heavy on the sell of trying to get us to all buy cryptocurrency yesterday. I said I should set her up as a YouTube channel where she advises on crypto. She said she would be crypto granny. She'd probably make a lot more money than I do out of YouTube.
Product received.
I check the... I was forgetting whether I actually checked this or not.
Ignition Rex says, Crypto Granny plays NMS Permadith.
Probably does. I did check that. I recognise the things now. So what was the guild here? I can't see. Merchants. I think merchants are the worst one.
And finds a crashed white squid.
Yeah. Well, everybody does, apparently. Everybody finds a crashed white squid except for me. Crashed one. Yeah, I just realised you said crashed one. I like having solars, but they do get in the way. I'm on the wrong weapon. We're having to earn this going from station to station. Few salvage frigate modules out of it. Well, I'm not going to complain about that because I haven't quite got that last 12. I've upgraded my freighter to go to all systems, but I haven't got the very last module that... Multi-tool, don't need a multi-tool expansion. Definitely is the best weapon for this, I think. It's got a good range, it's relatively quick, fires relatively quickly. Always supplement it with a few rockets if it's a bit too far away. guess I should have been checking the going to freestyle systems and checking the multi-tools just in case we see something cool. I think I'm in a freestyle system now though. Cargo bulkhead, never known about that either. I'm thinking I want to go to the other guild really, because I think we are more likely to get what I want from the other one. How many? 3 cargo bulkheads. I'll definitely put those in. I've only got 4 salvage frigate modules. Maybe I'll keep going to a couple of these. Where's a nice 3-star? There's one. Do this in a logical order. We'll go across from left to right. There's nothing there we want. Grab that. I was going left to right for a reason, so that I could have a check of the class of the multi-tools. C. A. Typical. How many are in the system? It's worth looking. Tell you what, we'll do that for a little while, just as a break up. But I'll have to have a quick break before I do that. So I will be right back. back, but my camera's not pointing in the right direction. Is it moving with me? Yes, it is. Okay.
Graph Naught says, calamari on the menu.
Yeah, I should get back into that, shouldn't I? I'm now Gravnaut, you've arrived just as I've decided to find out what's in an A-class cabinet at the space station, just because we're in a cheer-free economy and I can't resist. So it's not a very nice one here. I don't like that at all. But let's find out what's here. I'm presuming when you say calamari on the menu is because of the thumbnail and the thing I discussed earlier on, which you know full well what that's all about. But you could mean you found a crashed ship. So I'm just going to say, did you find a crashed ship? Have you given up yet? If you haven't found one, please tell me you've given up now, because it could become an obsession. So we have reloaded on the closest planet.
Graph Naught says, no, just about the thumbnail. I didn't find one. I am still going to search some more.
Well, on your head be it, because I don't think we're gonna get it. If we find the crash, great, but I don't think we're gonna get it. I might do a little bit more searching for it.
Alphas195 says, some more.
But of course, I've broken mine up by logging off, logging back on, so probably be starting from scratch pretty much. But I did get it. I don't know if I mentioned it to you, but I don't think I told you. I have got it. I'm not using it to fly backwards and forwards at the moment, but I suppose I could. That ain't no good. I mean, it's definitely a nice one. Right, let's go to that one first. We'll do it in order of the screen. Where is it? Is it behind there? Usually it would show if it was behind there. Where's that icon gone? No, it's around here somewhere. There it is. I haven't got this one. I've maxed out weapons because we probably need weapons more than anything else at the moment, which means I don't really have anything making my pulse engine go faster. So, but exotics never feel that bad in terms of speed. Maxing them out makes them a lot more nippy on systems, on planets, though. Maneuverability wise, agility wise. But we ain't got the slots yet. I think the only thing, apart from a discussion about what's the worst that could happen, the thing you've missed today is I found, I claimed one of the sentinels from that system where the squid comes from. And it had quite a nice supercharged layout. Oh, I know what I was going to do. I was going to look at that red. Was it a solar? I haven't done that yet. Maybe we'll finish the stream off with that in a bit. Once we've looked for this cabinet, we'll have a look at those red solars in that system. For anybody that plays Royal, because it could be a really nice slot layout if it happened to be S. Got a nice experimental here, but it's C class. So yeah, I desperately need a few more slots. Let's go to that one. Drinking an awful lot because it's very hot here today. As I was saying at the beginning of the stream, this is beginnings of a bit of a heat wave here. Luckily today's not too bad. In fact, today's really nice looking out there. I will be getting out there once I finish this stream. Didn't do on that last one. I didn't scan the creature. Not to be sniffed at. Oh, I just reloaded, so I didn't get that scan. I got to do it again now.
Ignition Rex says, "It's good weather here. Day high low, 42°C/33°C.
See, that would be a nightmare weather in this country. I think there's 28 at the moment. Well, that's the hottest it's supposed to be today anyway. Although I think the weather forecast may have been wrong because they said cloudy all day and it's hardly any clouds in the sky. It's probably a bit warmer than they said. Because we don't have very many hot days, this is hot enough for us, and we don't have air conditioning because we only need it for about a week. Some people do, but most people don't. So when it gets really hot, we just suffer. Although when it got to about 40 odd, me and my wife just booked into a hotel overnight so we could get a good night's sleep with some air conditioning. We're not getting anything cool. Might as well be looking at the squid. Some people swear blind that it should be facing the other way. I don't agree. I feel like this is the attack formation for a squid. Tentacles out first. I mean, yeah, it wouldn't swim this way, but I think it looks better. It looks more forward facing and attacking. I mean, it'd be really cool if it was semi-organic and it kind of did two different directions depending on what we were up to. But, you know, it's not. It's a mechanical ship. Probably try and give it a better colour trail at some point. I don't have the space, so I can't do it yet. I'm not trading with you. Did I actually reload? Yes, because it was a... Now I'm paranoid I didn't reload. Does anybody know if I definitely reloaded? Restore point 1432. Oh, that's when I just jumped out of the ship. Does anybody know if I definitely reloaded on the frozen planet? I do it without thinking sometimes, and then I wonder if I did it. Paradise.
Gravnaut.
I did reload. Thanks very much, Gravnaut.
You did reload.
If I'm doing this on my own, I tend to have a little sheet in front of me and tick it off just to make sure, because I do get into that situation because I don't think about it very often. Looks like this might be a high mountain. Oh, that's not too bad. It's probably quite high terrain, but it's rolling terrain. Bubble planet. Some people love them, some people hate them. I like them. I like purple grass. It's a nice planet. Let's see what the let's see if it's got bioluminescence. Yes, it has.
Graph North says, bubbles are the best.
I like the bubbles. Some people really don't like them. Of course, it's a paradise, so it's not going to get that really bubbly when it storms, because there are no storms. So it's nice. Nice tranquil planet. It's a pity it doesn't have any bioluminescent larger flora. Just got the grass and probably nothing else. Maybe those. Let's have a look. No, they don't light up. It doesn't look like anyway. Yeah. Nothing else, but the grass looks nice at night. Right, let's reload. I don't even know if I did or not, but we'll make sure we do.
Occasional gravity inversions, though.
There will be, yeah. I don't mind those though. I mean, we're not playing permadeath here. We're not worried too much. What's that? Oh. It's a tier 3 system. We might as well have a quick look. It'd be rude not to. Probably what we're going to find when we get back to the space station. The problem with flying a ship that hasn't been maxed out. I do wonder when they changed all the pirates to swarm, whether they meant to change the freighter battles or not. Because usually in expeditions they're quite keen that we get freighters. They give us like freighter spawns every few warps. Still haven't fixed this bug. Yep, that is the same. Multi-tool. One more planet. That's the one behind there. Oh, we saw a nice grey exotic, but it wasn't a first wave. It wasn't in this system either. So Gravnort, I'll give you a couple of minutes notice because we're nearly done here. Do you have the coordinates for those red solars handy? The planetary coordinates? Because I'm going to go back there and find them. I can check if you haven't, because I've got Discord. I can check. Reload.
Graph says, I don't, but I can get them off the screenshots.
A couple of minutes notice while I'm looking at this last possible nice multi-tool. Then I'll go back there after this. So I can go to a base on that planet, or at least the frozen planet. I think you also sent both of them to me in Discord, so it should be quicker to get them from the Discord chat, I would have thought. No, nothing interesting in this cabinet. Moving on. Right, so back to where we got the green squid. It was the other planet, wasn't it?
Graph says 42.20 minus 173.36.
Okay, thanks very much. So yeah, for those that haven't quite caught on what we're doing here, while Gravnort mostly was searching for this squid as a crash site, which we haven't managed to find, because that would be a really easy way of saying, instead of waiting for it at a trade station or a trade post or whatever.
Minus 21.0.
Gravnort found a couple of A-class red solars, but because he was in abandoned mode, we don't know. They might just be S-class. There's always a possibility that an abandoned mode
says, on the scorched planet
could be S-class. So I'm going to find them and find out if they are S-class. And if they are, then obviously any royal that wants a red solar to fly in this expedition, we will show you how to get them. So where are we? So probably closer to the second one, 157. significantly slows down when you get out of the atmosphere. Could pulse, I suppose. But 130, 132, 133. $40. A bit higher. 47. So 10 more. 151, 152, 153, 154, 157. Then we were minus 21, so I want to go south. Managed to straighten up then. Minus 21, so minus 10, 12, 13. 20. Slower than I imagined we would be. Because this doesn't hover, so we're going to have to maneuver. And minus 21. Let's go up a bit higher. Down there. Pretty close. I should get out really. See a beacon. Right, so oops. What am I doing? I want to go to right, so 21.04. This is coming up as an NPC. So that's interesting. I guess in abandoned mode you don't get the NPC. We'll go to the other one. Oh, I didn't realise you could get that happen. Just double check we are in the right place. Minus 29.09, minus 157.57. Yep. Okay. That one didn't work. So 42.20. I have also seen this in A class, by the way. So it isn't hard to find if you search for crash ships. We're just hoping that we can find an S class here.
Graph Nord says, that was becoming a nightmare scenario for me and a crashed squid. What if the crashed squid was flown by an NPC?
Have you ever seen a crashed ship that was an exotic that also was an NPC? I'm not sure if I ever have or not. It's rare enough to see a crashed exotic. What do we want? 42.2. It would be the ultimate irony, though. You do 300 odd crash sites, find a location, test it in normal. And it's got an NPC. 42. I didn't realise that it did that. Where do I want to go? I want to go south a long way. Okay. If you'd have asked me what happens to NPC ships, I'd have just assumed the ship wasn't there. Far enough south. -6. Oh no, I'm looking at the north. -28. That's better. Are we still heading south? I think the broad direction of that ring is south, isn't it? Oh, that's north. We're not still heading south. We've gone over the pole. Or under the pole. -28. Just caught the atmosphere straight away.
Ignition Rex says, I'm back, dinner's over.
Hey, welcome back, Ignition. We're looking to see if we can find a red solar in the same system as the green squid. We're not going to search for it, but it's just Gravnort found a couple of A's, and we thought we'd check to see if they were S's. We checked one, and it turns out an NPC ship, so that was dud. But we'll check the other one. This is going to be almost at the South Pole. 160. We're not far off now. There we go, 173. Now we want to go to 42.40. We shouldn't take too long because we're quite a long way. Doing. I'm on the right east-west. I don't want the east-west, I want the north-south now. I've been saying north and south all the time and I wasn't actually even meaning it. Right, so we'll stick to... Let's get back to the right heading on the east-west. Then we'll go north. Sorry, 173. I just turn. It's because those two numbers are next to each other. It's confusing me a little bit. Hang on, 144. I'm going backwards.
Graph Note says, "You're in the south."
Yeah, I know I'm in the south.
Latitude.
Yeah, but I was looking at my east-west number, and I got to the right east-west number, approximately. But then I started looking at the 157.7 and not the 173. Because they're next to each other. Right, 175. It doesn't take long to get round east-west when you're this high. Or this low in the... That'll do, because we're going to have to go a long way north now. So 42.2. I won't even look at the screen because it will just confuse me. 42.
Ignition Rex says, "There's a rumor going around. Pharaoh's gonna be at the 10th anniversary meetup, dressed as a jeg. True
Well, you wouldn't.
/ false?"
You wouldn't know if it was me because I'd be so convincing as a geck. Long way to go yet. Just check my heading. As long as we're heading vaguely north, I will pulse for a bit. Yep. It'll take me off my east-west a little bit, but I've got a long way to go.
Ignition Rex says, "Seriously though, are you gonna be there?"
The problem is I've got a holiday between now and then, and I've got a few things I need to do once I get back from my holiday. I have no idea if I'll be able to spend the time to go that far. It's not that far, but it's not an easy place to get to, but it's not a difficult place to get to. So I'm tempted to go. It's just that I'm not 100% sure. I won't be really 100% sure until I get back from holiday and start to do a few of the things I need to do when I get back to even know if I will be able to. it's gone off the screen now. So
Graph Note says 42.20 minus 173.36.
it's going down. It's going up. It's gone off the screen again. 173 points. $173 and 42.2. Very close indeed. $73.36. $42.2. Get out of here, I think. Because ships don't always spawn in when you're until you're quite close to them sometimes, so I just like to do it the exocraft way. That was a nice quality of life update when they started putting the coordinates on exocraft. Right, so 42.2. I'm at 41.96. So I want to go slightly north. And then I want to go 173. Is that? Yes. Yes. $73.36. Okay, so north from here. So I jumped out instead of just trying to pulse. I mean, trying to do that.
Ignition Rex says, I'd have thought you'd be using the Nomad, the Hubba is sent.
I only have this one in this save. I like the Roma as I'm missing it. 42.2. 73.36, so that way. There it is. There's an NPC as well. Never mind. It was worth looking. Thanks for providing the coordinates, Gravnaut. For anybody watching that really wants that solar, it has a red sail as well, so it's really nice if you're royal. It has a red sail. Unfortunately, I can't tell you to come to these coordinates, but what I can do is say it's available on this planet. You can either get it from a trade post, or
Grafnaut says,
I have seen it as a crashed A.
FTTTT.
I haven't seen it as a crashed S. It might be difficult to find it as a crashed S. You'd probably be better advised if you really want it as an S to upgrade it. But you could camp at a trade post for a long while and just hope you see one. But you're only going to see one very occasionally because it's not a tier 3 economy. But it's worth looking. While we're here, there is a nice green fighter. Let's get into the planet atmosphere, otherwise it will send me to the other. Send me to the other system. See if we can spot it. There's a nice green fighter. It's like a lime green with a fighter plane cockpit, which I don't usually like. But there are a couple of configurations of that particular fighter that I do like, and this is one of them. So let's see if we can spot it. If you're in Sage and you just prefer a fighter, which, let's face it, if you're going to do a fight later on, it's the better ship even than a Sentinel, really. People will tell you otherwise, but fighters are always good at fighting. They have a better agility score overall. The agility seems to work better for twisting and turning and just generally being in a dogfight. Put it up there. Put it up where I'm going to stand.
Ignition Rex says, hold up, just struck me, Pharaoh's team green, but wearing a red shirt.
I'm not going to wear green because it'll just mean I'm wearing an invisible shirt. Because I have a green screen on for my chair. Just watch this come in. No, it's not that fighter. This is not the ideal trade post because look at that. See, you can see those ships just crashed up there, which means they're not going to land for me if they crash up there. They got stuck in the terrain.
Ignition Rex says, at least wear a green cap.
Then I'd have invisible hair. They did actually land in the end. They just got stuck up there for a little while. Right, let's reload. Reloading, you seem to get more complete waves usually. Just want to really see
Thermal protection.
or show what the fighter looks like, because I think it's got quite a nice configuration. That isn't it.
Thermal protection falling.
What I should have done is just gone to my wait, there it is. I'm not bothered about what one.
There's my C-class red hauler.
There's two of them coming in. I'm not bothered about what class it is, unless it happens to be S-class, and I might buy it. But now this is a really nice. I think this has got a nice look to it, because it's got those slightly swept back wings with the tie sides. I think that's really nicely balanced ship, and obviously it's green. That one's a C-class. And did the other one land? No, it didn't land. So yeah, if you like the look of that ship, and if that was S, I would have that. That's
Ignition Rex says, that is a very nice fighter.
but it isn't S, so never mind. Right, I've been streaming for slightly longer than 3 hours, so I'm going to call it a day before this room really warms up. I can already feel the heat coming through that window, and it's probably just going to get warmer and warmer for the rest of the afternoon. So I don't want to be sitting in, because I'm in the roof basically, and just up there is a window. And although I've got the shutter down, I've got the window open and a bit of light coming in, and it's just going to get warmer and warmer. So travel well, and goodbye for now.